Peter, you covered Ethiopia for a long time. You talked about how Meles leaves a mixed legacy, if I recall correctly. Why should that surprise you? After all, human beings really, aren't they composites of contradiction, someone might argue?
Oh, of course. You're absolutely right, Shaka. But in the case of Meles Zenawi, he embodied two extremes, if you will, almost. On the one hand, he was the leader who was criticized for diverting food aid and using it for to get himself and his party reelected, using food as a political weapon. That's a serious charge, and there is. I mean, you can argue one way or the other on that case. The government filed complaints against the BBC, for instance, for airing that charge. But there are arguments that there's some evidence that certainly that has happened. And I did investigate myself, and I found that there was substance to some of those charges, although we'll leave the actual judgment to others. But at the same time, it's not for nothing that Meles Zenawi represented Africa, not just Ethiopia, at the climate change negotiations, at the G8, at the G20. He was, behind the scenes, a driving force in the African Union. And it's also not just a coincidence that Hillary Clinton herself went to Addis Ababa last year to have her picture taken shaking Meles Zenawi's hand and thanking him for the role he played in helping to bring independence to South Sudan. He was the man with the stature, both in Sudan and with the Southerners. They both had faith in him enough to accept his mediation, which resulted in what many people thought just a few months before independence would have been impossible. So he has a reputation as a statesman, as well as his other reputation at home as a repressive tyrant.
What about that, Liege Seifu Zawadi? You have a problem with that? Remarkably articulate?
Well, you're looking at, this is not a beauty contest. Running a country is not a beauty contest. We have to think what he did to his people.
We are not talking about how beautiful he was.
No, it's not that.
We are rather
but you are talking about who adores him.
We're talking
if
about
Mrs. Clinton adores him, it doesn't mean Ethiopian people adore him. That is a big reservation I have to put to you. You've been.
What about all those people that we see in Addis Ababa
It
who
was
are
a stage-managed show.
I hope you are not suggesting that this man who was in power for 21 good years did not have supporters.
There has, what kind of government he's leading? He's an ethnicist federal leader. He is actually promoting an ethnic federation in Ethiopia. And most of his government is dominated by his clan. The Adwa group, which you just mentioned a time ago.
Yes.
In the army, there is not even one Woromo in the command. It's all Adwa guys.
In fairness,
in security,
let me finish. It is not limited to Ethiopia. You could talk about Kenya, you could talk about Uganda, you could talk about Rwanda, we could talk about a lot of countries on the continent.
Well, that doesn't make it right in Ethiopia in any case.
Nor does it make it right anywhere.
Anywhere. So, why press this issue? All dictators tend to bring their own clans and their own sectors into power, and that's why they perpetuate themselves. And if you deny the democratic rights to all other people to contest elections, to the press to mention what is happening in the country, you imprison a press individual for 15 years for life for saying the truth. What kind of system is he leading? It is a Gestapo system in Ethiopia.